Today on Science in the Park, we're going to show you how to make a cloud in a bottle. This is so awesome to me because when you think of clouds, they're way up in the sky and it's hard to understand how they form. So today we're going to do an experiment and I'm going to show you how you can make your own cloud in a bottle. So here's what we're going to need for this today. You're going to need a 2-liter bottle. Mine is clear, which works the best because you can see right through it and see what's going on. But you could use a green one if that's what you've got. If you don't have one, maybe you can put a call out to neighbors and they can leave one on the porch for you and you leave it there a few days and then bring it in and use it. We're also going to need a wine cork. We have wine corks around the house. We'll talk about what you have to do to it in a minute to make it work, but you're going to need a wine cork. And you're going to need an air pump. Now, this is a big one for my bikes that we have in our garage. You can also use a little hand pump if you go camping, and that's what you use to pump up your camping gear or a bouncy ball that you have. So with the pump comes this little needle, and that's how we're going to pump our air into our bottle. And then you're going to need rubbing alcohol, okay? So this is something that you can find easily at the store in the first aid section, or hopefully you have some in your house to help keep everything clean, all right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put, just a little bit, like a teaspoon. And an adult can help you put this in because you don't want to get alcohol everywhere because it stings. So you're going to put just a little bit of rubbing alcohol into your bottle, about a teaspoon. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look at our cork, okay? Now, this is what I've already prepared. This is one from a new bottle, okay? If you look at my needle, we need our needle to go all the way through the cork. And if you put these two together, see, the needle is not as long as the cork, so that's not going to work. So you can have an adult help you, and an adult cut down your cork so that your needle will go all the way through, okay? That's really, really important for this experiment. All right, so I'm going to put my needle all the way through my cork, and again, it can be kind of hard to work that needle through, so you might need an adult help. And then we're going to put our cork into our bottle. You want to make sure the cork is pretty well into the bottle, okay? All right, now, I'm going to move this down here so that I can use it properly, but wait till you see what we're going to do. All right, so before you start putting air into this, you want to kind of swirl it around a little bit. Can you see my rubbing alcohol swirling around the bottle there? And that helps with the evaporation. Oh, that's a science word, evaporation. Anybody know what that means? Think about that. We're going to come back to it. All right, so now I'm going to hook up my pump to the needle that's in my cork, all right? And we're ready to go. Now here's another place where you might need an adult to help you, okay? You're going to hold with one hand the top of your bottle with the cork. Okay, so see I've got the cork on the top of the bottle and the pump, and I'm going to hold it with one hand, all right? Or if you have an adult helping you, they're going to hold it, okay? And then I'm going to use this pump. Now, before you start pumping air, squeeze your bottle. Is it squishy? Is it soft? What temperature is it? Use your senses. Oh, that's another science word, and we talked about that in another video. See if you can find it. But use your sense of touch and feel your bottle. What's it feel like? All right, so now we're going to pump some air into here, and I'm going kind of slow, okay? And again, make sure you have a good grip here. All right, now, now my bottle, it's really hard to push. It's not very squishy anymore. Watch what happens. I'm carefully going to open my hands here. Do you see that? Look at that. That's a cloud in there. How cool is that? All right, hold on one second. Let me show you one more thing. Now, put your cork back in. Want to see a magic trick? Okay, putting my cork in. I'm holding it. Watch what happens. It disappeared. Where'd my cloud go? All right, well, I'm going to let the cork out of the bottle, and then we're going to talk about that. Oh, there we go. Oh, my cloud came back. All right, so what happens, and what we're doing is we're using the water, we're showing the water cycle, okay? But we're going to use alcohol because alcohol evaporates a lot quicker than water does. So that's why we use the rubbing alcohol. So what happens is when I push air into here, into this bottle using the pump, it adds pressure, okay? And it adds pressure on that rubbing alcohol, which is why it gets hard to squeeze the bottle. Well then, when I move the cork out, and it goes poof, all of a sudden that rubbing alcohol puffs up and it evaporates. And that's where you get the cloud. That's where the cloud comes from. So then when I add more pressure, I'm squeezing all that rubbing alcohol together again. And it goes back into liquid and the cloud disappears. Very, very cool. So again, make sure you're very careful with this. You have an adult helping you. Thanks for joining me today on Science in the Park, where we learned about how to make a cloud